ABC News and George Stephanopoulos have reached a settlement with President-elect Trump in his defamation lawsuit. The network agrees to pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to Trump's presidential library. ABC and Stephanopoulos will also issue statements of regret as an editor's note to the March 2024 article and television segment that prompted Trump to file the lawsuit earlier this year. Trump sued Stephanopoulos after he asserted in an interview that Trump was found, quote, liable for rape in a civil case, despite the fact that a jury actually determined Trump was liable for, quote, sexual abuse, which has a distinct definition under New York law.
I guarantee you ain't gonna hear this story too much on the left side of the news today. Yeah, Donald Trump is getting his get back. You know, this guy, George Stephanopoulos and ABC News had to apologize. And that's what, you know, we've been seeing with these legal notes with The View. I can't wait to play one of those clips. But these people are being held accountable for the vicious and vile rhetorics and BS that they've been spewing. And I love to see it. You know what I mean? Trump said, F around and find out. All right. These people definitely, you didn't have to go to the search bar to find out. They definitely found out. Somebody says, so they will make a charitable donation that will then become a tax deduction for the company. I don't know what that means. Somebody please make that make sense for your boy. I love you, educated on that right there. They should get jail time for trying to change the course of our election with their blatant lies, deception, and total disregard for the facts. And I totally agree with that right there. What do y'all think? You know what I mean? I really want to know. I feel like these people should be held accountable for, you know, actions like this, just sitting here spewing lies. And yeah, man, Trump wins. This slander, like, let's look at a clip real quick of them just chilling together. I think he was just asking Trump about, I don't know. Let's just watch.
Going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example. There are things that you wish you didn't do, okay? You came very close to the edge. You would have loved to have had that decision over again.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if that's a digitally altered clip right there or not. I'm just gonna keep it real. You know, I got it from my journalistic integrity, right? You know, I just gotta keep it real with y'all. But if it was, I'm telling you, that guy right there had me dying. He said, I mean, you got some regrets too, my boy. Oh, anyhow, let's get to the, you know, merit as to why all this is going on. George Stephanopoulos and ABC were definitely forced to apologize and, of course, pay the $15 million to settle in a defamation lawsuit. Of course, Trump filed against Stephanopoulos after the anchor and former Democrat operative asserted that Trump was found liable for rape during an interview with Rep. Nancy Mace in March. Shout out to Nancy Mace. She's doing some real good work in terms of, you know, keeping this whole men are men and women are women. Anyhow, let's watch the original clip.
I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
It was not a criminal court. This was a civil court. It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money. And I find that offensive.
I'm asking you about
as a rape victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape, you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive. My political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. And you looked at the dueling rallies yesterday in Georgia. Laken Riley's family was with Donald Trump. They weren't with Joe Biden. The same guy yesterday that apologized for calling her killer an illegal, who wasn't illegal. And here you are trying to shame a rape victim. I find it disgusting.
I mean, you keep saying I'm shaming you.
You are. The question, it is.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate who's
You're asking a rape victim.
And there's no question about that. And you've courageously talked about that.
Because I've been raped. I think that's disgusting.
No, I'm questioning your political choices because you're supporting
me. You're trying
someone who's been found liable for rape. Actually, I'm not trying to.
You are. That's exactly.
You're not answering the question.
I think it's disgusting.
Well, you're welcome to say that, but you have to answer the question. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
I just answered your question.
What is the answer?
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was sexual abuse. It wasn't actually rape, by the way. And E. Jean Carroll joked about all the money she's going to get and made a mockery out of this case. And I think that's offensive. There's a reason why women don't come forward. And when you have someone who says that they're raped and they make a mockery out of this civil court judgment, it's offensive to other women. It makes it harder for other women to come forward when another woman has made a mockery of it.
You said women don't come forward because they are afraid. They are afraid because
they're judged and shamed by those who you're trying to shame me this morning.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the rape. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
He defended himself over that and denies that it ever happened, but he was not found guilty in a criminal court of law.
My question is, will he be fired too, or it's just they're gonna pay this and it's over with? I don't know. Somebody says, by the way, Stephanopoulos' job was to cover up and lie daily about the sexual activities one of America's most notorious offenders, Bill Clinton. The guy that apparently Trump saying that he endorsed. Thank you, Nancy Mace, for putting him in his place, for sure, man. Somebody said Mace should sue for emotional distress. I don't know, man. Legacy media right now, they eating their own words quite literally. 15 million forced to apologize later. Trump is actually helping truth win. Honestly, defamation isn't journalism. It's manipulation. And this sets a powerful precedent for sure, moving forward. I think that this is a great way to let all the other news networks know FAFO, okay? Like, go ahead and spread a lie, because, when I get back in the office, bro, it's over. And Obama, aided this. He's the one who, look it up, he's the one who helped sign into order being able to lie on the news, and that apology is going to be played and pinned all over X. I'm telling you, the world will know that ABC and George Stephanopoulos are lying. Anyhow, I just want to show y'all a clip of a legal note, just because I love watching Sonny Hostin or Houston. It ain't Houston, is it? No, it ain't. Hostin have to read legal notes to, debunk what she's saying at the moment. It's the greatest thing ever. Watch.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
Oh, there's more?
Take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
I ain't gonna make y'all watch this whole thing because it ain't got nothing to do with the overall point of the video. But I just wanted y'all to see her having to read that legal note, meaning the left is starting to burn. I'll tell you one thing, when Trump get back in that office, we could thank ABC and George Stephanopoulos, however you say this guy's name, for helping donate to getting more of the wall done at the border. All right, now we're going to get back on track with what's actually happening. This is Megyn Kelly tearing up George Stephanopoulos to shreds. And today, him and ABC cost themselves $15 million and have to apologize. Let's go in and hear what she has to say, y'all. Let's go ahead and wind in from the top. Okay.
What a kind, sensitive man who clearly cares deeply about women and their sexual assault allegations. Thanks for being an ally, George. I see how concerned you are that victims might not come forward if they are publicly attacked by their rapist or his defenders. To be sure, that is a very real concern. It happens all the time, which because you invented it. Remember? When you created a whole command center designed to smear Bill Clinton's sexual assault and rape accusers so you could elevate him right into the presidency. The attorney representing many of Bill's accusers, and there were many, George, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, Paula Jones, Jennifer Flowers, to name just a few, said you and James Carville, at Hillary Clinton's direction, formed a so-called war room whose purpose was, quote, to destroy any woman that would challenge Bill Clinton. You know the war room. They made a whole movie about it.
George Stephanopoulos. I'm Director of Communications. Bush was on the defensive. Another good night for Bill Clinton. 3 debates, 3 wins. I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll never work in Democratic politics again.
Such a tough guy. This attorney points out that you don't like to talk about this particular behavior, George. Maybe that's why you skipped it in your discussion with Nancy Mace. But as you know, private detectives were hired. The women say they were threatened and they were publicly shamed by you and your well-funded team.
And we just watched them do the same thing.
Did you worry then that this behavior might shame victims from coming forward? You admitted in your own memoir that Hillary Clinton told you about one accuser, quote, "We have to destroy her story." Did you object? Did you say, "That's shaming"? No. In fact, you later described yourself as Bill Clinton's, quote, "enabler." But sir, how could you have enabled and defended a man like this, accused by multiple women of sexual assault, rape, and harassment? Which brings us to Paula Jones. You were Clinton's attack dog when Jones came forward claiming Bill Clinton had exposed himself to her. That when he was governor of Arkansas, he summoned her through state troopers to a Little Rock, Arkansas hotel room and took out his penis. A charge Clinton denies, just as Trump denies E. Jean Carroll's allegations against him. What do you think he wanted done with that thing, George? Just a little show and tell? Jones was poor, a graduate of secretarial school, and worked for the state. She had no power, no connections, and he was the sitting governor. She didn't go to Columbia and Oxford and become a Rhodes Scholar like you, George.
A little bit.
She was a nothing to you. Your buddy Carville immediately went after Ms. Jones, infamously saying, "If you drag a $100 bill through a trailer park, you never know what you'll find." And you?
Wow.
Did you defend Paula Jones, saying, "We don't shame accusers. That's wrong"? No.
No, you did.
You compared Jones to Tanya Harding as, quoting here from the New York Times, "just another woman seeking cash for telling a tabloid tale."
It's getting bad for you,
Fire
my boy.
up that war room, George, and destroy her. Bill Clinton would ultimately pay Paula Jones almost $1 million to settle her civil suit against him. And you remained Team Clinton all the way. To say nothing of Juanita Broderick's rape allegation or Kathleen Willie's allegations and more.
Man, this guy's really a scum. I'm not somebody who follows everything that he does. Or, obviously I've reacted to a few clips of his throughout the years, but man, this guy's real scum of the earth right now.
But now you, quote, "don't understand how Nancy Mace can support a man found liable for sexual assault of one woman 30 years ago in a civil trial in which the burden of proof is just 51% likely."
Huh?
My God, how did anyone at ABC think this was a good line of inquiry for George Stephanopoulos, of all people, to pursue?
Something else that I want to point out is Trump is actually innocent. Bill Clinton, not. And this was great. The clip ended up cutting off right before she was finna get ready to snap into that man. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that they were found liable. They are nothing but fake news and propaganda, and everything that's coming their way is definitely totally deserving. And we know the media right now is in shambles ever since Donald Trump won. And right now I'm looking at the comments. It says Harry Sisson is next. What are they thinking? Well, ABC, I'm reading, my fault. What were they thinking? Well, ABC, you are held liable. Read a few more. Megyn Kelly absolutely destroys Georgie in this classic takedown. She definitely did, man, and pointed out some facts that I didn't know about his history at all. Y'all know I'm learning about politics still. I know I do a lot of reporting, but I don't know a lot about these people. It's too many people everywhere, man. But we finding out and we do our due diligence. But ABC should have been sued, and no one has the right to believe E.G. Carroll right now. That's all I'm saying, because we have more than enough proof that's debunking everything that she said. So I appreciate Megyn Kelly for putting them down savagely. Now, ABC News, they settled with Trump and George or whatever for that. But here, yesterday morning, exactly, Morning Joe was reporting on the interview by repeating the same lies that ABC News just settled for. Maybe this is what they went to meet Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I meant to say why, my bad.
She knows. She is defending. She is endorsing. She is all behind a man who a judge said raped another woman and then defamed her. Talk about shaming a woman if she's so concerned about rape victims being shamed. What about what Donald Trump does to his rape victim? Judge said she was a rape victim. Day in and day out, constantly shaming E. Jean Carroll, so much so that the jury had to come back a second time and make the penalty so bad that maybe he would stop shaming a rape victim. But that's who Nancy Mace aggressively endorses.
Nancy Mace, who has openly spoken about a terrible experience weaponizing it against George Stephanopoulos, which is, it seems beyond twisted. But again, this is Trump world. And this is a man who has been accused of rape several times over, and has other accusers that he's bought off.
I think anyone who knows George Stephanopoulos knows that he is one of the least likely people in the world to try and shame somebody who has suffered that kind of awful experience. I mean, that's just not the way George carries out his journalism. He's fair, he's honest, and it was a legitimate question.
We have breaking news. ABC News and George Stephanopoulos have reached a settlement with President-elect Trump in his defamation lawsuit. The network agrees to pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to Trump's presidential library.
Some of these cases, I say forget the fines, man. Some of these people deserve jail. These people looking stupid.